Good day everyone! Welcome to Bahay Aralan. In this video, we will talk about adverb clauses. Let's start this off by defining adverb clause. An adverb clause is a dependent clause that modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb in the sentence. Just a quick recap, when we say dependent clause, it is a group of words with a subject and a verb, but it does not express a complete thought or idea. In other words, it is not a complete sentence. Now let us have the different types of adverb clauses. The first type is the adverb clause of manner. It describes how the action in the main clause was, is, or will be done. An adverb clause of manner uses any of the following subordinators: as though, as if, or like. For example, Frank ran the race as if his life depended on it. What do you think is the adverb clause of manner in this sentence? It is as if his life depended on it. Why? Because it tells how the action in the main clause was done. Our main clause here is Frank ran the race, and the action is ran. So it tells how Frank ran the race, right? And as you can see, it is introduced by a subordinator as if. Okay? Another example. Linus continued to speak as though nothing had happened. In this sentence, the adverb clause of manner is as though nothing had happened. It describes how Linus continued to speak, and it is introduced by a subordinator as though. Clear? Now let us have the adverb clause of time. Obviously, an adverb clause of time describes when the action is done or was done or will be done. These are the subordinators used to introduce adverb clauses of time: when, whenever, while, until, after, before, during, and since. For example, before he came to the US, he received a lot of advice from his parents. What do you think is the adverb clause of time in this sentence? It is before he came to the US. It tells us when he received a lot of advice from his parents. And it is introduced by a subordinating conjunction, before. Another one. Everyone stood up when he walked into the room. The adverb clause of time in this sentence is when he walked into the room. Obviously, it tells when everyone stood up. And the subordinating conjunction used here is when. Easy, isn't it? Now let us move on to the adverb clause of place. As the term suggests, it tells where the action was done or is done or will be done. What do you think are the subordinators used to introduce adverb clauses of place? These are where, wherever, and everywhere. For example, everywhere she goes, she brings a camera. The adverb clause of place in the sentence is everywhere she goes. It tells where she brings a camera. It is introduced by a subordinator, everywhere. Another example. You can park your car wherever there is an available spot. The adverb clause of place in the sentence is wherever there is an available spot. Introduced by the subordinator, wherever. It tells where you can park your car. Okay? Another type of adverb clause is the adverb clause of condition. It tells that something must happen or be done first for something else to happen. The subordinators that can be used to introduce adverb clauses of condition include if, even or only if, unless, provided that, on condition that, so long as or as long as, and whether or not. For example, if you study hard, you will pass your exams. The adverb clause of condition in this sentence is if you study hard. This is the condition or something that must happen so that the other event will happen, which is passing your exams. Right? and the subordinator used is if. Another example. Provided that there are enough seats, anyone can come on the trip. The adverb clause of condition in this sentence is provided that there are enough seats. This is something that must happen or be met in order for another thing to happen, which is being able to come on the trip. And the subordinator used is provided that. Clear? Now let us move on to the adverb of contrast. An adverb of contrast shows an idea that is in contrast with or contradicts the main clause. The subordinators that can introduce adverb clauses of contrast are although, even though, despite, in spite of, while, and whereas. For example, although she has plenty of jewelry, she doesn't show off much. The adverb clause of contrast in this sentence is although she has plenty of jewelry. The conjunction used to introduce this clause is although. And as you can notice, the ideas expressed here are contrasting. She has plenty of jewelry, but she does not show off much. Opposing ideas, right? Another example. They decided to buy the house even though they didn't really have enough money. The adverb clause of contrast in this sentence is even though they didn't really have enough money. The conjunction even though is used to introduce it, and as you can see, its thought contradicts the first clause. You could not expect people to buy something if they did not have enough money, right? Now let us move on to the last type of adverb clause for this video. It is the adverb of reason. As the term suggests, it states the reason for what the independent clause says. The subordinators for this type are because, since, as, and that. For example, since it was raining, she took an umbrella. Obviously, the adverb clause of reason in this sentence is since it was raining, introduced by the conjunction since. And as you can notice, it tells why she took an umbrella. Another example. I wore my winter jacket because it was exceptionally cold. In this example, the adverb clause of reason is because it was exceptionally cold. The conjunction used to introduce it is because. And again, its purpose is to tell the reason for wearing a winter jacket. Clear? That being said, that would be all for this video. Thank you for watching.